Hey guys, so it's definitely felt like a really long time since we've talked about Twin Peaks, and that's because it has been a little bit of time because there was not an episode last week, and then the week before I did not do a video. We can talk about that here in just a little bit as to why I didn't do that. But thanks guys for being here today. If you are here in the room and you are here to talk about Twin Peaks, which should be obvious, but I've been having a lot of people lately just come to not talk about whatever show that I'm doing. So let's focus on Twin Peaks today. But anyway, hello Kenny and hello Philly. Thank you for being here. Kenny's mentioning the last episode we saw before the one yesterday and saying that it was horrendous. I think we've talked on here before about how I've read a lot of reviews and I've heard from a lot of people who love the first two seasons of Twin Peaks who do not like this season. And I don't agree with that. And, I was like, I'll watch somebody mop the floor or I'll watch someone like spray paint shovels or whatever. I can deal with that. I will give that to David Lynch. But the episode where they were like, I honestly can't even tell you what happened. I know some people have theories on it. And if you do that, that is cool. I can't, like, that's too much for me. Like, I am not going to try to figure out what happened in that episode from 2 weeks ago. I really was just like having a very hard time. I actually did sit through the whole thing live, and yeah, I mean, it's fine. If you enjoyed it, that's fine, but we all have our own opinions. I didn't do a video on it because I didn't want to be attacked by people who are like diehard Twin Peaks fans who would, attack me. So if you're here to do that, you don't have to be here because I don't want that. I don't do videos, to be yelled at or whatever. This is my opinion. So, but anyway, if you can respectfully say why you liked it, that's completely fine. But, it sounds like it's not going that way. And honestly, that makes me mad. I'm not here to do this, to be yelled at, to be cursed at, to be told that I'm wrong. We all have different opinions. But for those of you asking me why I didn't do a video on that episode, I disliked it. Probably not going to go into it anymore, but I didn't like it and I didn't do a video on it because I would have been complaining about it. And secondly, I didn't have much to say about it. And if that makes me stupid and I don't know what's going on with the show, then hey, whatever. I didn't want those types of comments, and so that's why I didn't do a video. I didn't do a live chat on it. So that's all that I have to say about that episode. Thankfully for me, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, I felt like the show was back to the way it was or had been, and this new third season or whatever, the return, it seemed more like the previous episodes this week, okay? And I'm going to make one more disclaimer here that this is just going to have to be devoted to Twin Peaks. And I'm not going to be discussing other shows in this chat, but I am thinking about doing a weekly chat where we just talk about all the different shows you guys want to talk about or whatever. If you want to be here and listen or whatever, that's totally fine. I'm not trying to sound rude, but a lot of the chats have turned into like everyone talking about anything but the show that's in the title. And I do kind of want to stay on the show that we're talking about because a lot of people can't come to the live chats, and when they come later, they get disappointed, which I would too. Like if it's titled one thing and then you start to watch it and they're not even talking about that show, like I feel like I would be annoyed by it. So I'm going to ignore people who are trying to talk about shows that aren't even on TV anymore, or I'm sorry, I'm not going to keep addressing it because lately my chats have just turned into not even on topic, and it makes me not even know if I want to keep doing live chats on some of these shows because they just get so off topic. So that's my final disclaimer. If you start talking about another show or whatever, if you're completely off topic, it's nothing personal, but this has to be about Twin Peaks because this is the devoted time for the Twin Peaks live chat. Okay, so Epic Gummy Bear is asking me about a different show. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ignore that. I started to read it before I read it all the way. Anyhow, I did want to talk about one thing that I enjoyed from this week's episode, which was, I feel like they were kind of, and they've done this throughout this return, and I like how they've done it. They were kind of giving like a tribute to the character Major Briggs. Of course, we know the person who actually played him is also no longer alive, and he's no longer alive in the show. And I just really enjoyed the interaction with his wife and then his son, Bobby, and just the old cast members, the ones that, if you've watched the first two seasons, which I think most of you have, I thought that was just like a little special scene. And I do really appreciate the show when they do little tributes to people who are no, I mean, they did the thing for the log lady, and I'm trying to think of his name now. Donna's dad, Dr. what, Hayward, is that what it is? Donna's dad, who is also Mark Frost's father in real life, right? Anyway, no, it's okay. No one needs to apologize. I'm just trying to keep these on topic. And if, you know, I don't want to make people, I guess I've made people mad because I have 5 thumbs downs, but I'm really debating if I'm going to keep doing live chats for Twin Peaks, to be honest, and for Orphan Black, just because of the way things have been going. And I'm not trying to make this turn into like a rant. But this is the only way I can talk to some people, because some people don't have Twitter or don't follow me on Twitter or don't see my tweets, which is understandable. So, yeah, so I don't know. And maybe I just need to distance, you know, like maybe I need to not do a live chat for a few months because of so many people who are here for like Pretty Little Liars or who still want to talk about it. And I'm not going to be doing any more videos on Pretty Little Liars because the show is over. So I apologize if that's why you're still here. And if you don't want to be here anymore because you're hoping to see Pretty Little Liars stuff, you know, I understand that, because, hey, I'm not going to watch somebody who, if I only like Pretty Little Liars and that show, they don't talk about it anymore, maybe I won't stick around either. I understand that. Okay, let's get back on topic here. Killy, thank you for being here. Says Diane is in cahoots with Evil Cooper. You think, okay, interesting. You think she's trying to lure Bad Cooper to meet Agent Cooper, Dougie to Twin Peaks. The text she receives show they're working together. My Twitter is Kelly_TV. So it's KELLIE_TV. And I also have my social media linked in the down bar of all my videos. So interesting. That's a really good point that you make there. I'm hoping that I'm saying your name correctly. We kind of got that idea when she went to talk to him in jail. To me, she seemed kind of scared of him and that interaction, but you knew something was weird about what was going on. And we knew that she'd had some sort of interaction with him since he became Bad Cooper, you know, before this time. Kevin says the text Evil Coop sent was in lowercase, but the text Diane got was all caps. So I don't know. Personally, I didn't get that opinion, but that is interesting. And thank you for your relevant comments. Ralph is saying don't end the chats for a few turds. Your thousands of fans outnumber the trolls. I know, but you know, for those of you, and I think Ralph has been in a couple of the live chats, and this is one where I've ranted so much I probably can't put it up on my channel because I don't want like a negative like channel or whatever. But like this lately, it's been so frustrating for me because so many of the chats have just been about anything but the title, anything but the show, and we just can't do that. I don't want to do that just because it's not fair for people who come looking for this chat. I had people ask me like, where was the Orphan Black chat from last week? And I was like, well, no one talked about Orphan Black, which is partly my fault. So I had to get rid of it, you know? So Killy is wondering, am I saying your name correctly? Let me know. Is there a middleman? And this bringing up the question of Philip Jeffries, who was David Bowie's character. Are we going to have Philip Jeffries played by someone else? Is Philip Jeffries still involved here? I don't know. Hi, Shalisa. Thank you so much for being here. I don't know. That's been a big question about this series, about this return. And I don't know if that's going to happen, but there's been a lot of speculation about that. And then also, we still haven't seen Audrey. And I think Ralph was saying recently, maybe last week, that you thought, or maybe there was some sort of theory out there that Audrey was coming back this week. So honestly, I was so happy because if you've watched my videos about Twin Peaks, then you know I love Audrey. And I've been waiting for her to come back. And I feel like it's an unnecessary amount of time to make us wait, because we know she's coming back. I mean, we know, and she's kind of talked about it, Sherilyn, on Instagram. So I know she's coming back. I mean, she can't tell us, obviously, on social media when Audrey's coming back, but she's kind of hinted around that she's going to be back. Yes, we saw Audrey's brother run into the wall, Johnny Horn. So I don't know, but I'm just interested to see her. I also don't truly understand or fully understand Ashley Judd's presence in this show, other than she is annoying to me as this character. And I'm happy that Mr. Horn did not accept her advances. I was like, okay, good, because you know he's very shady, and I'm just surprised he didn't go there. I agree with Kevin. The Hi Jerry scenes, I mean, it was very funny with the foot, and I thought that was very funny. Yes, actually, Killy was just talking about Johnny, his injury or death will bring Audrey back. So yes, I think so. I'm just waiting. I'm just hoping. That's what I mean, maybe next week, right? Rosenfield, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else of note happened. I don't know. Honestly, I have to mention this. Like, for me, the episode that I disliked was so difficult. I'm trying to still get over that from 2 weeks ago. And then, like, I wasn't probably as excited about this week's episode as I should have been because I was concerned about where it might go. Anyway, again, if you enjoyed it, I have nothing against you for that, but I just feel like I need to mention that. And then for me, I don't think I was as into this week's episode, even though there was technically nothing wrong with it. And it was a lot like the other episodes that we had seen before, the whatever you want to call that one. I don't know if people have given it a name or whatever, but so I think, to be completely honest, I wasn't as invested or, watching as closely, paying as much attention as I should, just to be completely honest, with this week's episode. Okay, Kelly thinks that Jerry is at the place where Bobby Hawk and Sheriff Truman are heading to. Yeah, I'm wondering. So okay, that's interesting. You're thinking he is not just high. And he's probably got some of the other stuff going on, the weird stuff, whatever you want to call that goes around Twin Peaks, where, who knows, maybe he's had somebody mess with his mom. Hello, can anyone hear me? I'll just type because I don't know. Oh, it's working. Okay. Sorry about that. And what I was trying to say is this hosting site, which is YouTube's hosting site with Google Connect, it does not work well and it crashes every single time. And I'm trying to find a site. My issue is that when I found another site, it was making everyone go over to that site. And I don't want to make everyone like create a login, whatever, for some other site. It's annoying. And it just did not work. It was a lot. It reminded me of Periscope, but it was YouNow. And for this, like a serious discussion, I don't really think that belongs there. So I have one more idea that I'm going to try out. And I'm sorry that this keeps crashing. And I used to think it was me but I've tried different computers and it's not, because I got a brand new laptop last year and I was like, okay, and it still crashed. So anyway, sorry about that. It just happens like pretty much every time. But what Ralph was saying, let me go find that, about the episode from 2 weeks ago, which was episode 8. He's saying, in his understanding, and hopefully you all agree upon this. If you don't, though, let me know, was basically the explanation of how the test of the first atom bomb ripped a hole into another dimension and let evil into our world. Now, that actually makes so much sense and is actually so easy to understand. I think that's cool. If you guys can agree upon that, that's good for me. I just didn't like the way that it was all presented, but whatever. I mean, that does make sense because we never really had an explanation. I mean, I'm thinking that is a good thing if that's what that means, because we never really had an explanation of why there was all this supernatural stuff going on in this town. So that's interesting, actually. I just wish that it was a little bit more clear with their presentation of it. Omar, if your log has a rude message, I'm not going to be happy, but what is it? Don't go there with me today. I'm not feeling like playing with crazy people and rude people. Not that you are, I'm just saying. Kelly says The Secret of Twin Peaks by Mark Frost has a lot written about the atom bomb episode. Okay, so that is one piece of this Twin Peaks puzzle that I have not checked out. I've seen the movie. For those of you who did not know, I watched everything like a couple of months ago, binging the entire 2 seasons and the movie. So I didn't come with a long history of love for the show like people who watched it from the beginning, but I did very much like it. I feel like I have to say that because some people, I don't know, I'm sorry. I don't want to be like angry in this chat, but it's like some people are like, but you don't know what you're talking about because you didn't watch it in whenever, 1989 or whatever. Anyway, okay. Oh, I know it's from the log lady, but there's been so many crazy people in here lately that like you're saying your log has a message for me, and the next thing you say is to go F myself, which what someone said last week. Anyway, no, I'm glad you like it. That's good. I just, sometimes people come in here and they set me up for something mean. Like they set me up and then they're like, F you, yeah, I know. Apparently the book is really helpful. It's probably something I should have read. And the other thing that I did not do was watch the missing pieces, deleted scenes. No, but that is on YouTube, right? Is that like an actual movie or is it just like short clips? I should probably definitely check that out. Dadson says this episode was so much better than last week. You liked last week, but this felt more like a normal Twin Peaks episode with the charm you like the show for. Yes, I agree with you completely. And, the only other thing that I don't like as much as I did the first 2 seasons is that we don't, and I know people criticized it for this, what I'm getting ready to say at first, and I was kind of like, well, it's okay. But now I kind of see their point. It's like we don't have that same feel all the time as much where you see the characters as much and you get like that love. Like for me, I enjoyed the characters and who they were more than the supernatural stuff, and even more than the mystery of who killed Laura Palmer, which is interesting for me to say because I love finding out like who the killer is in these kinds of shows. So I really much enjoyed, for me, I really fell in love with the characters, and that's what kept me watching the first 2 seasons. So I know it's supposed to be different now, and I just kind of hate it sometimes because you never know like who's going to be in it. And for a while I was like, well, I'm sure they'll come back. Like I'm sure that we'll start seeing more and more of them, but literally we never know because we don't see previews or anything. And I get that that's their thing, but it's like we never see Shelley, hardly ever. And I really like her. And like we never see James. We saw him like once. We still haven't seen Audrey. And I know that I know he has a plan for all of this. And I also know this is supposed to be like a long movie, or that's what people have told me, rather than a series of TV episodes. So, but still, even in a movie, I feel like we see the characters more often sometimes than we do now. But, that's okay. Matthew Lillard, I'm glad you mentioned that, Ralph, was, oh my God, he was, like, I've always had respect for him because I'm a huge Scream fan. So, yeah, Donna, Mr. Omar, Mrs. Donna, we're never going to see her again, sadly, because she didn't come back. But that's one person we're not going to see again. But yeah, I mean, he was crying. I mean, it was crazy. Like he was just doing everything. He was just killing it. And I do think that was really good. And Kelly's thinking all of the people will be back. Which yes, they will. We just never know. We never know. And I think, yeah, Audrey, definitely Mr. Omar is going to be back. When, I don't know. Nobody knows pretty much except for the people involved in this show. Matt thinks it's disappointing that Donna isn't in it. Yeah. I think Ralph has told me before there was some kind of fallout with her, and right, isn't that what, I think it was because she did not want to do the topless scenes in the movie, so she wasn't in the movie. And then I don't know if what that has to do with this current series, if that has any connection to that or what. Yeah, Scooby, yeah. I remember Matthew as, what was his name? Scooby's like best friend. Dadson says you rewatched the scene from the original run where Bobby's dad was telling him he had a vision of Bobby coming out all right. It's crazy how they planned that all those years ago. That is so cool, right? I think that was the very best part, in my opinion, of this episode. I thought that was just like very special and something that they do really well on the show of connecting 25, 26 years, like connecting pieces of, 26 years ago or whatever. Shaggy. Yes, Shaggy. Thank you. I think that's amazing that they're able to connect something from so long ago, and they just do it really, really well. Killy says the girl who played Donna. Why can't I think of the actress's name? Like, she's very famous. Is it Laura? I think so. I don't know. Who had a relationship in real life with Kyle. I did not know that. So I don't know if that plays into her being absent. I mean, I know it's her, like she didn't want to do it is how I take it. She didn't want to be in it, but I don't know if they didn't, maybe they didn't invite her. I don't know. I have no idea, but it's weird. I feel like they haven't even mentioned her, right? Have they? Dadson says you love Bobby now, which is crazy because in the beginning of Twin Peaks, he wasn't very likable. Lara Flynn Boyle or Laura Flynn Boyle, however you say that. Thank you, Rob. Yeah, right. I agree with Dadson. Bobby, I never really liked Bobby. Like, I never felt like I could trust him. And because I like Shelley so much, I felt like he was kind of going to screw her over like her ex-husband or whatever. But now I just think he's like kind of one of those people who was just like a silly, like a immature guy. But now he's like, got a real job and okay. Oh my God. Can anyone hear me? No, no, yes, yes. Hello. Can anyone hear me? Hello. Can anyone hear me? Wow. Oh my. Okay. Oh, I'm back. Okay, great. I wanted to read these comments. I'm so sorry. This has got to be so frustrating for you. It is for me. I'm really sorry. I forgot that Bobby is a murderer because of the movie. Seriously, they don't want me to be on here. Okay. I forgot that. So, right, I never trusted him before, and I feel like I can trust him more now, but maybe we can't. That's a good point, Kelly. I appreciate that. Okay, let me go back. I'm trying to read the comments that you guys left me before this crash for the 400th time. So, yeah, I need to research that a little bit more. I'm not sure. I'm getting different stories about why the woman who played Donna is no longer with the show. But I knew there was some sort of drama of some sort. Some sort. I've said that twice. Ralph says Bill Hastings signed 9/20 on the paper. Frank told Bobby that 10/1 and 10/2 were 2 days from now. That means the events in Twin Peaks are 9 days ahead of everything else going on in other storylines. Okay, that's very helpful. Okay, thank you. Oh, but Dadson says he signed 9/29. Okay. Mary Girl Moody, I've never heard of her. She does American Horror Story reviews and Ash versus Evil Dead reviews, which I'm not familiar with, but I will be doing American Horror Story reviews. Yes. Rob is asking, was it self-defense in the movie? Okay, Kelly, thank you. I can't believe anyone's even sticking around for this chat. It's just with all the crashings. I'm really sorry about that. Oh my God. Is the vlog lady like a Twin Peaks vlogger? Because that's a very cool name. If it's connected to Twin Peaks, like that's pretty much perfect. Okay, Kevin says you like how they bring in the old soundtrack. I love that. And I like how they have the old graphics. He says in the new season, in some scenes with the jazz sounds and the shots of the waterfall, which is funny. I was out watching fireworks, not waterworks, fireworks for the 4th of July. And there was like a jazz station playing or, jazz music. And it was crazy because it sounded so much like Twin Peaks. It reminded me, I was like, oh my God, that sounds just like the old Twin Peaks movie music. Rob says one of the stories you heard was she didn't want to do the nude scenes in Fire Walk with Me, and that is what I heard, I think, from Ralph initially. But maybe it's a combination of all these things. I don't know. Sam says this is an 18-hour-long movie, and it's much more an overall tone with Fire Walk with Me, the missing pieces, rather than the original series. It's a continuation from that standpoint, and Sam loves it. Yeah, I know, and I think that's something that we all need to keep in mind, or not all of us, but me and there's a lot of people who definitely dislike, and that's not me. I don't dislike this, new season, but it's not supposed to be exactly, which we know it's nothing really. It's very, very different from the first 2 seasons, and that's on purpose. It's not supposed to be like that. George says you think the important takeaway from episode 8 is that we seem to have created a truly dangerous opening to the Black Lodge spirits. Thank you. When we first set off the first nuclear bomb, which is exactly what, it's just in other words, but pretty much the same thing that Ralph said. So, yes. Okay, I think I'm back, but I don't know if anyone can hear me. I'm so sorry. So frustrating. Can anyone hear me? I don't know. Okay, it's working. So George says Bob was not the only dire spirit to enter our world during this rupture in space-time. It looks like several eggs entered our world that produce many creatures that are possessing humans, which is also a very interesting point. It's not just Crazy Bob. Interesting. Bob, I agree. Thank you, Kelly. That was very funny. I don't know if you've ever been here before, but I always blame someone on killing the live stream. And to blame Bob is good. It's good stuff. Yeah. Matt hated Donna's nude scene in Fire Walk with Me because it was so unlike her character. I really enjoyed that movie, but I guess they probably would want to do more stuff like that in the first 2 seasons if it had been like on a Showtime, but they couldn't because it wasn't. But yeah, so it was very unlike her character, but also I feel like they took all the liberties they could because they knew they could do whatever they wanted to some extent. But I will look this person up, Mary Girl Moody, the blog, all the different people you guys mentioned. I'm not familiar with them, but I assume that they do Twin Peaks videos, maybe other things too. And I'm wondering if they actually have millions of crashes and people can't watch them when they come to their live chat. There has to be a better way. If you guys know Julie DG, I'm going to talk to her because she was telling me about a site she's using. But my main concern with that is if it makes every one of you go to like some other site, nobody wants to do that. I know. So that is going to be an issue for me. I know the thing is they always save it'll allow you to upload your video to YouTube, which is cool, but it's not cool for the people who are here to see you live if they have to go to some other website to see you live. That's what I think anyway. George says the young girl who gets invaded by the bug frog creature may grow up to be the wealthy woman whom Ben Horn mentions in episode 1. Perhaps her wealthy cohorts are also possessed individuals, that's a very interesting thought. Okay, try to refresh browser. I don't know if Omar can hear me. but that's what you might want to try. That sometimes works for people, so that's why I typed it. Kelly says the girl in part 8 had something wrong with her legs. Polio, maybe. Could this be Linda at the trailer park who got a new wheelchair? Yeah, definitely. Wow. You guys got a lot of info out of episode 8. I don't know. It's like that's cool. That's odd. Like seriously, that's cool that you guys got that much information out of that episode. Ralph says, are Mr. C's Cheetos still in one piece after being in Chantel's back pocket? I don't know. The screen says that something went wrong. Okay, we're gonna have to wrap this up, not because this is not it's a very good conversation, but for all of the technical difficulties, I really do apologize. And then we have someone says, is this a PLL chat? I don't know. I think Pretty Little Liars has like destroyed my channel. Oh, okay, you're joking. I was like, you have to be kidding me. And it's not, like, I know all the people who come in here and ask that, they're not trying to be rude. So like, it doesn't make me mad. It's just funny. It's just like, I don't know. Anyway, thank you for being here. I'm sorry for being frustrated, and I'm sorry for making it frustrating for you guys. I mean, this is terrible that it crashed like that many times. It used to just happen like once. Sometimes not, never, sometimes not at all, but it happened like what, 4 times? So I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to debate if I want to put this on my channel, because I think I probably just look like the meanest person and the most frustrated person in the world, and I really don't know if I want to put that out there into the world, you know? I don't know. We'll think about it. Thank you for being here. I am not going to be here next week, so we're not going to have this next week, but we'll resume the following week. And I'll post some stuff about that on Twitter that's why I always tell people to follow me there, just so I can, that's like the best way for me to talk to you guys. Otherwise I wouldn't care. Thank you, George. And thank you guys for being so nice. Several of you were very, very nice to stick with me, 16 people. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry for being so frustrated, but honestly, it's frustrating when this keeps crashing because I'm mad for you guys, because that's gotta be the worst, to sit here and watch this and it keep crashing. I can't even imagine. So thank you for being here. Hope your week is off to a good start, and we will talk more later. Bye.